What's going on, folks, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to take a look at the Windone E2 fat tire e-bike. Now, this bike is currently listed on its website for $919, and I think this is one of the best deals you can get out there right now for a budget e-bike. I've been riding this for a couple weeks now, and this thing is pretty good for the price. So in today's video, we're going to take a look at the specs. We're going to do a speed test, and we're also going to do like a hill test to test out the torque and see how much power this thing has. So you guys just stick around and we'll get right into it.
Settle, so I'm in my element. It's evident that there's levels to the game. All of those dark nights I got then, breaking my back to make it out, got me feeling like rain. I ain't never need your help. I know you wishing me well, a penny for your thoughts, but seeing no change. I snap for the sun like Diddy. The riches got a mad ass son. I'm like Billy. I ain't never switch up. Whole team with me, but known for my city like OATZ. Set the pace as long as you finish. Consumers find a way inside your business. Babble if they try to dabble in it, and they hate the fact that they may have to witness. You trying to aim for the top like this, and you're in your element with a vibe like this, and they hoping you fall and they praying you miss, but it's all in the risk. I got you with the switch, you know.
If you're new here and you like drones and other cool tech reviews and tutorials, please consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that notification bell for future content. All right, so let's start off by taking a look at the specs. Now, this frame is made up of all aluminum, and it can support up to 330 pounds. Now, the approximate weight of it is 89.5 pounds, and despite the weight, from my experience, this bike is very nimble. Now, also with that weight, it does translate into more stability. Now, the bike is powered by a 48 volt, 13 amp hour battery, which you should get around 48 miles if you're using pedal assist, and 28 miles if you're using just throttle only. However, in my experience, it'll be probably 20 miles if you're using all throttle. And one of the nice things about this battery is that it has a battery indicator on the outside. That way, if you have this battery stored for a little while, you can quickly see how much life you have left in it. Now, this bike comes with a 500 watt motor that peaks out at 750 watts, and you can get up to 28 miles per hour when just using throttle only. This bike sits on mag wheels, which is mounted by a 20-inch, 4-inch wide fat knobby tire, and you also get these fenders that are plastic, which don't make too much noise. Actually, I didn't hear any noise coming from this riding over gravel or dirt or anything. The suspension is a dual suspension, and you have a suspension fork in front, which have preloads on both sides, and in the rear you have a spring coil shock, which is adjustable, so you can adjust it to your weight. And the seat is a nice long dirt bike style seat, which you can actually fit 2 people on here. It's not the softest I've felt before, but you know, it does work. Now we're going to get a little bit into the cockpit of the bike. This does come with a nice wide handlebar, and you get these nice grips. These grips aren't the best. They are a little hard, but they do not move around, and that's pretty good when you're riding off-road or something like that, and you're lifting the bike constantly. Now, your half twist throttle is right here, and you get a nice color display, which displays useful information. It would have been nice if they had something like the voltage or wattage readout on here. And this is your toggle switch for your pedal assist levels. This has 5 levels of pedal assist, and it also powers on the bike, and you can also access the menu through this switch here. And you also get a bell, which is probably one of the cheapest bells I've seen. However, it does work. And you get these nice hydraulic disc brakes, which are made by RSX, and it comes with a 180 millimeter disc rotor for, you know, better stopping power. Now, the rear taillight is pretty bright at night, and when you press the brake levers, it does brighten up even more for safety. And you also get a nice motorcycle style headlight, which is also very bright at night. It's probably one of the best ones I've used so far. Now, the drivetrain is powered by a Shimano thumb shifter, the basic thumb shifter, and a Shimano 20 derailleur. You get these basic metal pedals here with little spikes on here for a grip, and I'm not sure of the size of this crank, but it is a little bit small from what I've seen before. However, you do get a lot of ground clearance here, and definitely made for off-roading. The cable management is pretty good. It's wrapped up nice and neat. All the cables run down the frame, and also a couple of them go inside the frame to make it nice and clean. Now putting this together wasn't hard at all. All I needed to do was put the front wheel on and also the handlebar, the headlamp, the rear suspension, and then also the fenders and the pedals. And that's about it. That's all I needed to do. And then install the battery, of course. And we were good to go. That took me about maybe an hour to do. That's including the unboxing. So it's not too difficult to get this together and get going. All right, so I'm just going to pause here and continue in a second. All right, so this is where I usually do my speed test. This is a straight shot. We will be using throttle only, and I will be in pedal assist 1, and this is rated to go about 28 miles per hour with throttle only. Now, I will be in pedal assist 1, and based on my experience using this bike so far, it doesn't matter which pedal assist you're in. When you're using a throttle, you'll get the full speed. All right, so let's go. All right, the speed is a little slow getting up to speed. Well, not too slow, but it's not the quickest. Right now, we are at 24 miles per hour, 25, 26. My display says 30. My speedometer says 28. The display is saying 30.5 miles per hour. Speedometer is still steady at 28. So we did get up to 28 miles per hour. However, the display is a little off. Now here I'm going to use pedal, and I'm going to go up to pedal assist 5 and see how fast I can get up to 21, 27. Display is saying 29. If I can move my legs a little faster, I probably can go a little faster, but this is kind of uncomfortable. My knees are pretty much in my chest when I'm pedaling. So 27 miles per hour is the best I can do when I'm pedaling. And it appears that the display is about 2 miles per hour off, based on what's on the GPS. All right, we're going to do a quick hill test. This is about 25% grade. This bike here, the E2, is rated to go, to be able to go up 20% with no problem. So we're going to start here from a standstill and see how long it takes to get up to speed and what speed we can get up to. Just wait till this car clears and then we're gonna go. All right, so let's punch it. I am in pedal assist 5. I'm using just throttle, and we are at 8, 10, 11, 13, 14, 15. We'll be getting up to the crest of the hill in a second. All right, now we're at the crest. So about 16 miles per hour. It takes a little while to get up to speed. It doesn't have, you can feel it, it doesn't have much torque. But on flat surfaces, this thing can move. But hills, it kind of struggles with sometimes. Unless you have a running start, you will be creeping a little bit. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the performance of the E2. Now it has a 500 watt motor that peaks out at 750 watts. Right off the bat, off the line, it doesn't have too much torque. You can tell when you come off the line, but when it gets going, it gets going. And it actually gets up to the advertised speed, which is 28 miles per hour. Now, I can say it is very comfortable. Going over rough terrain, it took it like a champ. The suspension system that they have here is very good. The rear shock could get a little bouncy if you don't adjust it, so I do suggest adjusting it. I adjusted it when I got it, and it turned out, just fine. And like I mentioned earlier, it is very nimble. It has a nice center of gravity, and you can take corners with no problem. You can lean it. I even, rode the bike with no hands. It is well balanced, so I am satisfied with that. Now, I can say when you are riding this bike, you do have a little bit of an aggressive posture. Now, a lot of the weight goes on your hands and also on your shoulders, and that's understandable because it is a dirt bike style bike and it's meant to be that way. So when you are trying to go on like longer rides or something like that, expect to be a little fatigued after the ride. Now, the advertised range for this is 46 miles, 46 to 48 miles. Expect not to get that. I can, from experience, that it all depends on what pedal assist that you're riding in. And if you ride in maybe pedal assist 1 and pedal the entire time, you may get that distance, but most of us will just be using throttle only. And this also has a waterproof rating of IPX5 for the battery and IPX4 for the frame. So if you get caught in a light rain, like a light drizzle, I wouldn't worry about that. However, I wouldn't be riding through like pools of water. That's really not a smart thing to do. Now, I'm 5'10", and this bike comes up to my waist, and I can put my heels on the ground if I kind of slide a little bit lower in the seat. However, this bike is rated for someone who's 5 feet 5 inches up to 6 feet 8 inches. And I can say that the taller riders may feel uncomfortable pedaling this bike. All right, so safety is key, and the brakes on here are very good. They are hydraulic, and you do have 180 millimeter disc rotors, and they are reliable every time. Either it was in wet weather or semi-wet weather or muddy conditions, they worked and worked with no problem. Now, out of the box, I did have a squeaky sound. I never went and actually cleaned it to get that squeaky sound to go away. However, just to let you know, if you did hear it in the video, I just need to go ahead and clean the rotors. Didn't realize this had a walk mode. You just hold down the minus button here on the toggle and you can go ahead and walk it. But is this e-bike worth it? In my opinion, yes it is. If you're in the market for a budget e-bike, if this will be your first e-bike, I think this is something you may want to consider. For under $1,000, you get a lot of features. You get a nice build, you get the hydraulic brakes, you get the dual suspension. It handles the rough terrain very well. The dual suspension works very well. You get a nice cushiony ride, and it also gets up to 28 miles per hour, which is good enough for the average rider. And if you are interested in purchasing the Windone E2, I'll leave a link in the description below so you can go ahead and check it out. So if you enjoyed this video and found it useful, please give it a thumbs up. And also, if you are new here, take a look around on the channel. And if you like what you see, please consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell for future content. And I'll see you on the next one. Peace.
I'm